Hey everyone, it's Anthony here at Talk and Review, and today we're back with another ultra cheapie review. But before we get into it, hit that like, hit that subscribe, do yourself a favour. So today we're going to be reviewing another fragrance that was very kindly gifted to us from Lauren J. Paris, and this is from the house of Chatler, and this is GIOTTI GREY. So the box, it's a pretty standard looking box really, just a rectangle, black going into kind of like a silvery grey kind of blend there. Logo on the front, ingredients on the back, house on the top, barcode on the bottom. Pretty much a standard box. So the bottle, pretty basic looking bottle, black going to clear on the bottle, whereas on the box it's black going to grey, but I do like the continuity between the bottle and the box. It's quite nice. Has some weight to it, so it's quite nice. Cap, again, very plasticky, pretty much like the last one that we did. Could probably break it with a good squeeze. Silver atomizer and a very wide distribution on this one, if you can see. But very wide distribution. So this is a clone or a copy or an interpretation of whatever terminology you want to use of Gucci Guilty. I'm not too sure which Gucci Guilty it is an interpretation clone of, because there are that many Gucci Guilties and I've only smelt one or two. Whether or not that's the original or flankers. I think I smelt a Gucci Guilty Valentine's version, but there seems to be quite a lot of versions of Gucci Guilty. So I'm just going to hope that this is the original Gucci Guilty. Before we get into what it smells like and whether or not I think it's worth purchasing, this can be bought from Lauren J. Paris's website for $11.99, I believe. So again, same price as the last one. Really, really cheap. That's for 100ml of eau de parfum. So fits firmly within the category of ultra cheapie. So the big question is, what does this smell like? So with me trying to not compare it to the original, because like I said, I'm not too sure if I have smelt the original or the one that this is basing off. What I'm going to try and do is just base it on its own merit. So what you're greeted with when you first spray it is a blast of citrus. So I think it's got bergamot and lemon in the top, but in the mid it has orange as well. But I get that immediately mixed in with the bergamot and the lemon, which is really nice. It does give this kind of like a florally orangey kind of feel to it, which is really, really nice to start off with. So it starts off really quite fresh and really quite zingy. But the interesting thing about this fragrance here is that whilst it starts off like that and you think it could be a good freshie for summer, in the dry down it develops very, very strangely. So in the base it's got patchouli and musk in it, and I think the patchouli and the musk kind of like mixed in with everything else, and also mixed in with kind of like skin chemistry, is it changes this fragrance from your standard kind of like freshie, summer freshie that you would expect it to be quite zingy and bright. It gives it this kind of like undertone, and it goes quite, I won't say earthy, but it has this kind of base that has a little bit of glue and a bit of texture to it, and it actually makes the top notes and the mid notes last that little bit longer, in my opinion. And when they start to fade down and the patchouli and the musk start to come through, it really makes this kind of thicker quality to the fragrance. Like I said, it's not earthy, it's not dank or dark, but it feels like a thicker fragrance in the base. And I feel like the combination of those draws this away from your standard kind of like freshie, and it makes it stand out a little bit. Like, I'm not too sure if that's what the original Gucci Guilty does. If it does, it's a very interesting take on a kind of like fresh, clean kind of feel, because that's what it feels like to start off with. There's also an element of kind of powderiness to this. When I say powderiness, what I mean is that there is iris in the mid of this as well, and it's not your real kind of like lipsticky iris that you'd find in kind of like Dior Homme Intense or anything like that, but you do kind of notice kind of like the powdery kind of irisy undertones there is to it, and I feel like it kind of glues everything together from the top to the base, and it transitions really well from your bright opening into your lesser bright mid with your kind of powderiness into your musk and patchouli at the bottom, and it all holds it all together, and it makes for a very interesting scent profile. It's very work friendly, it's very approachable. You're definitely not going to offend anyone with this. I would say it is more of a spring, summertime fragrance, but that being said, because of the type of profile it is, you could probably get away with it all year round. You may want to go a little bit harder in the winter. I don't know if it's going to cut through cold weather, but with the kind of base notes that it's got, it very well could do. Who can I see wearing this? To be fair, I think this is kind of mass appealing. I feel like this could fit quite a lot of demographics. It doesn't feel overly mature. It doesn't feel very juvenile. So you could probably get away with this anywhere between the ages of like 20 to 50, really. It's not, I wouldn't say that it's exclusive to any age category at all. Occasions and places that you could get away with wearing this. As I said, it's very office friendly. One could argue that it's kind of like signature scent worthy because it is so kind of like mass appealing to everyone. I can't find anything in here that's going to offend anyone at all. So in terms of occasions, you could pretty much get away with it with any occasion, really. If you wanted to kind of like glam up and dress up, maybe it's not going to make as much of a statement as kind of like a bolder in your face fragrance. But for your everyday kind of person that just wants to crack on with their day, there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to wear this in any occasion at all. So with all that being said, is it worth it? I mean, for $11.99, it's absolutely worth it. In terms of longevity, you're going to get at least 5 to 6 hours out of this as well. So it's a good length of time for how fresh it is. Yes, if you want it to last all day, you might have to reapply later on. But for the price, for the scent profile, for how it projects, how long it lasts, $11.99 is a cracking price for this. I would recommend this, to be honest, because I think you'll struggle to find someone that wouldn't like it. And it's one of those kind of like dumb reach fragrances. You're not sure what you want to wear. You can just reach for this because you know you're going to get a nice smelling fragrance. So that covers our review of GIOTTI Grey by the House of Chatler. Again, thank you very much to the wonderful people over at Lauren J. Paris for gifting this fragrance for review. We very much appreciate it. Let me know if you have tried this one. Let me know if you tried any from this house, actually. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to get notified for future content that we put out, please click the notification bell so you get notified immediately, or at least as quick as YouTube wants to tell you. Sometimes it can be minutes, sometimes it can be days. Thanks, YouTube. And I'll see you guys in the next review. The next installment of this series is going to be on an absolute fan favourite, so don't miss it. But until then, peace!